June 11, 1962. 3 men vanished from the most secure prison in America. No bodies, no confession, no closure. For 64 years, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and millions of people around the world have asked the same question. Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers survive? In September 2026, the government officially closes this case forever. And today on Movix Guy, before that deadline hits, we're laying out every single piece of evidence. The letter, the photo, the science, and the answer that's been hiding in plain sight all along. On the night of June 11th, 1962, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin escaped from Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, tucking papier-mâché heads into their beds, breaking out through ventilation ducts, and departing the island on an improvised inflatable raft. Morris, known for his intelligence, had taken the lead in planning. Using a homemade drill made from a broken vacuum motor, the group spent months boring through the prison walls, hiding the holes with suitcases and cardboard. Within 2 days, searchers found a packet of letters sealed in rubber related to the men. Later, paddle-like pieces of wood and bits of rubber inner tube were found in the water. No bodies, no men, nothing else. The FBI opened a nationwide investigation, interviewing relatives, checking identification records, and asking boat operators across the bay to watch for debris. They found nothing conclusive. In 1979, after 17 years, the FBI officially closed its case, concluding the men most likely drowned in the frigid waters of San Francisco Bay. But one agency refused to give up. The U.S. Marshals Service never closed their file. Morris and the Anglin brothers stayed on the wanted list, active fugitives, for 64 years. As Deputy U.S. Marshal Michael Dyke told NPR, "There's an active warrant, and the Marshal Service doesn't give up looking for people." As recently as 2009, Dyke confirmed he was still receiving leads regularly. The U.S. Marshals even released age-progressed photos showing what the men would look like in their 80s and 90s, a move that former FBI agent Abel Pena said signals a potentially credible tip that at least one of them might still be alive. That warrant expires in September 2026, when Frank Morris would have turned 100 years old. 64 years of hunting, and in a few months, it officially ends. Now, here is every piece of evidence that says the government got it wrong. First, the science. A study by scientists at Delft University concluded that if the prisoners left Alcatraz at 11:30 p.m. on June 11th, they could have made it to Horseshoe Bay just north of the Golden Gate Bridge, and that any debris would have floated toward Angel Island, exactly where their belongings were found. The currents that were supposed to kill them actually led straight to shore. Second, Mythbusters. In 2003, the Discovery Channel's Mythbusters launched their own raincoat raft from Alcatraz, following the exact circumstances of the escape. Hosts Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman successfully landed at the Marin Headlands. If a TV crew could do it, 3 desperate men with everything to lose absolutely could too. In 2018, CBS San Francisco published a letter addressed to the FBI. It read, "My name is John Anglin. I escaped from Alcatraz in June 1962 with my brother Clarence and Frank Morris. I'm 83 years old and in bad shape. I have cancer. Yes, we all made it that night, but barely." The letter had been sent to the San Francisco Police Department in 2013, but kept secret during a 5-year investigation. The FBI examined it for fingerprints, DNA, and handwriting analysis. The results came back inconclusive. Inconclusive, not fake, not confirmed. Inconclusive. Security analyst Jeff Harp said it perfectly. That means yes and it means no. So this leaves everything in limbo. The writer offered to surrender in exchange for medical treatment and 1 year in prison. The government never responded. The writer never wrote again. In September 2026, the U.S. Marshals officially closed the case. The warrant expires. Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin are removed from the wanted list forever. Not because they were found, not because the mystery was solved, but because they would all be 100 years old, and the government has decided that's long enough to keep looking. 64 years, 0 bodies, 1 letter, a photograph in Brazil, and a grandmother who received roses from someone who was supposed to be dead. You decide what that means. Subscribe to Movix Guy. We cover the cases everyone else has given up on.